do you pay for a cup of coffee? £4, £5? It might be more, actually. In a few years, it might get even higher. Prices for coffee beans are at a record high. There have been droughts in Brazil and Vietnam, supply chain problems, all of which has driven the price of coffee, up. How about making it in a lab? Well, Yaky Yanay runs a company called Pluri, which can grow, well, perhaps replicate might be a better word, coffee cell expansion technology it uses to grow coffee beans and cocoa. And Yaky joins us. Just tell us, how does this technology work?
Hello, and thank you for having me. It's great to be here. So the technology actually works quite similar to how nature works, but instead of growing the coffee on a plant, on a trees, as we do with cocoa, we just mimic the same conditions in bioreactors. And Pluri is a company that works with cells for over 2 decades.
So you're not starting with a seed. You're starting with something, some coffee cells or coffee plant cells, and then replicating them, making them grow.
Exactly. So the only thing that we need is actually taking kind of a biopsy. So taking one plant, we need to take the cells out of the cherry or from the plant itself. And when we got this minimal biomass, then we can start to replicate the cells, to expand them, to double them, to give them the right conditions as they should have in nature. But the key advantage that our systems can, the amount of cells that they can grow in a single run is equivalent to about 1,000 plants. And when there is a problem with coffee and cocoa all over the world, with significant shrink in production, we believe that in the future, we're going to continue to drink perfectly manufactured coffee, but it will grow in our bioreactor and not necessarily in trees. So it's converting the manufacturing means.
What does it taste like?
Well, it looks like coffee, smells like coffee, and it tastes like coffee because it's coffee. But just instead of growing it on a plant, we're growing it in elsewhere. This is not a substitute of coffee or, taking other plants and trying to convert it into coffee. We're just taking the coffee itself, taking the cells out, expanding them, and then doing the same process, drying them, roasting them, and brewing them, and you're looking at a coffee.
And it tastes exactly the same.
It tastes exactly the same. Obviously, we need to play a little bit with the different to see what are the right conditions to get the right coffee. The amazing thing that we can play even with the level of the different on the molecular level. So we can increase or decrease the level of caffeine, acidity, the glucose levels, even the fatty acids. So we are now working on coffee on the molecular level, controlling the entire of it, doing it scientifically. Pluri is a company that started in pharma, so we have a very clear understanding of how to work with cells on the right direction. And as a publicly traded company, we are committed to make sure that we're going to provide the best product in the world for our customers.
Just very briefly, Yaky, is it cost competitive with normally grown coffee?
When you're saying a normally grown coffee, it's you're probably now touching the heart of the problem. If you asked me the same thing 2 years ago, the prices were about, $3 per pound, and now it's around $8. So the naturally grown coffee is totally out.
You're getting there, Yaky. We'll have to leave it there. I'm sorry, we've run out of time. That's it from me, my producer.